Hello guys, welcome back to Garage Football. It is our live match watch along for Chelsea versus FC Porto in the second leg of the Champions League quarterfinals. I'm here with Wiz again. So anyone watching, please leave your match thoughts, comments, etc. in the live chat. We'll get to those, and don't forget to subscribe to Garage Football if you're new. So Wiz, thanks for joining us again, mate. So it's the second leg tonight, but played at a Sevilla Stadium again. So, but Chelsea are technically the home side tonight.
Yeah.
Obviously, we were there for we watched the first leg last week, and Chelsea played well. Got a 2-0 win. But what are your thoughts on tonight's game, mate?
Well, I hope it goes the same way as the last three legs of the Champions League have gone, really, where we've done very well in limiting the threat of the opposition and shown quality on the counter and in build-up generally, just to kind of have a very safe game. And I think that's what I'd like to see, is that the last three games have felt very safe in lots of ways. Although I think Porto have been much more of a challenge than Atletico, but fingers crossed with that two goal advantage, hopefully will give us a platform to get through.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I think it'd be a tough one for Chelsea. I expect them to still get through overall, but we'll go through the lineups in a minute. But Porto have got a couple of their key players back, and you never know, they might make a difference from tonight. But speaking of the lineups, we've got about sort of 13, 40 minutes to kick off, so we might as well go through the lineup. So we'll start with I say in inverted commas, the home side tonight, Chelsea. So a couple of changes from last week. So Mendy still in goal. Looks like a wing-back system again. So Azpilicueta, Thiago Silva and Rudiger. Reece James and Ben Chilwell, the wing-backs. Jorginho and N'Golo Kante in midfield, and then a front three of Mount, Pulisic and Havertz. Porto, I think, have made one change from last week. Looks like 4-3-3 according to UEFA. So Marchesin in goal, Manafa, Mbemba, Pepe and Zaidu. Midfield three of Uribe, Grujic and their top scorer, Sergio Oliveira, is back in the side. And then the front three of Otavio, Marega and Corona up front. So, and then one of their other key players for Porto, Taremi, is on the bench tonight. So, your thoughts on Chelsea's lineup, Wiz?
I'm pretty happy with it, really. I mean, it's good to see Silva back. Will be the obvious kind of, he's been incredible for us this season. He's been absolutely outstanding, the best centre back in the team. Didn't really expect him back, and having Kante is always good. And in a game that they were very physically dominant in, I think, last time, Kante is exactly what we need. I think we missed him for all the kind of artistry of Kovacic, and my preferred sort of two in there would be Kovacic and Kante. You do need the industry of Kante. We're very reliant on it, I think, and yeah, he's going to make a difference, hopefully, for us. And I'm glad to see Pulisic play, because when he came on, he was extremely bright in the previous leg. So, yeah, very happy, actually, with that lineup.
Yeah, it's not a surprise really from Tuchel that I think he's kept a sort of similar shape with the wing backs, because Reece James and Ben Chilwell. Well, I mean, Chilwell got on the score sheet, scored the vital second goal last week, and I think both of them got a lot of joy down the flanks last week. So that's not a surprise that he's kept a similar formation with the wing backs high and wide and attacking, and especially the fullbacks for Porto were decent going forward, but a bit suspect. I mean, Zaidu made a mistake for Mount's goal last week, didn't he? The first goal. So I think they'll probably target him again, I'd say.
Yeah, possibly. As you say, I think they look really promising going forward, those two. I haven't seen too much of them, but yeah, I think it's the classic thing. Is maybe it's an English thing. You've got to be able to defend first, perhaps. But I think we'd expect to be getting in there, down there. One of the reasons we play a five is because we can't rely on two centre backs. In certain ways, they have certain weaknesses, perhaps, and we needed shoring up. And the other one is it gives two really, good in terms of attacking output fullbacks their license, gives them a bit more license to go forward, and particularly James, who is sensational. So, yeah, and of course, Chilwell got a very important goal in the last game. So, yeah, really critical to the way we play, actually. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but as I've mentioned, Porto got a couple of their key players back there, both their top two scorers. One of them's playing the midfielder Oliveira, and then their fellow striker Tamiri is on the bench as well. So I think we covered it last week, didn't we, Wiz? And Porto had a lot of possession and created some chances, but it didn't have that clinical edge that Chelsea obviously showed with the 2 goals. So you never know. They both could make a difference. Obviously, Oliveira from the start, and if it comes to it later on, possibly Taremi from the bench as well, if it comes to it.
Yeah, and I think, as I said, I think it felt easy after a little bit, but they gave us a lot of problems. They gave us more problems in, maybe in the first half of that game than Atletico did after two legs, which you would never have bet on.
Yeah, definitely.
And if you said what you were adding into that was, the two top goal scorers in Liga NOS, then you would say, okay, now they might be in business. And I think they will potentially score. I think I was really impressed with their general play. And those 2 coming back, one off the bench potentially, might just be what they need to actually put the ball in the back of net. Because on XG, I think we talked about it after, on XG it was quite tight. It was 1.5 to then plays us on 2 goals. So, bit of concern, I think. But I think they were really impressive. I told you just before we started that I've kind of gone for 2-2, and I think Havertz might get the first goal. And of course, I'd take any result where we go through at this stage. When you're going for the semi-finals of the Champions League, you would take absolutely anything.
You just got to get through,
yeah. There's so much at stake. You just want to get through now.
No, so you think you'd finish 2-2 tonight?
That's my guess. Yeah, I did guess 4-1 last week, and I was quite a long way up. But, but I'm going for 2-2. I think I don't know. We'll see how we set up, and we'll see how much pressure they can exert early on. I think Tuchel said in the press conference they, in some ways, have it easier in the sense that they know they have to come and score 3 goals. They don't have to do that. So it's very, very clear what they need to do. And there's another old football cliche: 2-0 is a difficult scoreline or a dangerous scoreline. So I think if they did get an early goal, I think we see a test of our character. But every test of it so far, we've come through under Tuchel. So, fingers crossed, and hopefully those changes will give us a bit more dynamism in the game. A bit more physicality. Really looking forward to seeing how that plays out as well.
Yeah, and I thought I think Chelsea probably just about deserved to win last week. Albeit Porto played some nice stuff at times, but Chelsea weren't at their fluent best going forward, but still created a number of key chances, which Porto didn't, and ended up getting the 2-0 win. So I expect Chelsea to actually create a bit more tonight, I'd say.
I hope so, and I suppose we hope that if they come out and have to chase the game, that what has been a very successful counter-attacking side over time can really do some damage. I think last week when Pulisic came on, his ability to operate in those half spaces, hit the bar in last week's game. So I think he's a really good guy to have on. Although the sheer pace of Werner is obviously absolutely speed kills. So it'll be interesting. Havertz has come into form for the first time for us. So it does seem to be that maybe his best position. I don't know how much he earned to go there, but I suppose £70 million earns you a go up front. So
Well, he was impressive in the comfortable win against Palace at the weekend.
He was genuinely brilliant. I think the only thing that let him down ultimately was his finishing. He's got great goal scoring credentials, obviously from his time at Leverkusen, but he doesn't look like a natural killer. But his movement, his link up play has improved massively. And in many ways, for those who didn't see the goal, he kind of got a lovely kind of curling left foot goal from the right side of the pitch.
Yeah.
But what impressed me in some ways more is the kind of confidence and aggression to go and win the ball back, which he did shortly before. So it was very much a goal that he sort of had a part in the architecture of as well. And that really bodes well. That shows kind of buying into the team mentality, confidence, all the things people talk about, integrity, work rate, as well as getting in that position and showing his class, which I think, you pay 70 million, we knew we were getting someone who had that potential to show that kind of class. So yeah, really, really positive. Best game he's played for Chelsea, without question.
Yeah, and I think it's just one of them. Some players, take to the league by storm. You look at someone like Luis Suarez, for example, whereas some, like maybe Thierry Henry, when one of them where it takes them a season, then they play brilliantly afterwards. And obviously, wouldn't have it when he injured when he arrived, Wiz, or he did pick up an injury soon after he arrived. I think he got COVID as well.
Yeah, so both he had an injury, he had COVID. I think I think he was a 20-year-old when he came over. In a worldwide pandemic, extraordinary set of circumstances. What was really concerning when you first saw him was that he looked like he couldn't wait the pass correctly. I mean, he was sending people short passes as a habit, and it looked like he was completely off the pace. How much of that can be attributed to injury, illness, adaptation, confidence? It's probably some combination of all those things, I think. And he doesn't look like the guy who kind of, he's not Ronaldinho. He's not like a party guy who's just like, the life and soul of the party. And he seems like a more sensitive character than that. And so, and Tuchel, German language speaker, all of these things may have come together to hopefully aid him to go further than he's gone so far.
Yeah, well, he was brought in for games like this. Obviously, a vital game, quarterfinal, second leg. So we'll see how he gets on tonight. The players are coming out. Refs just grabbed the match ball. So you think it'll be 2-2 tonight, and then Chelsea obviously go through 4-2 on aggregate. I'm going to go for a similar score. I think Chelsea will win tonight. I think they'll win 2-1. So 4-1 on aggregate.
Yeah, well, I'll take absolutely any result that gets us through, really. But
take a 0-0, mate.
Yeah, it would be dirty. Hopefully, we've got something to talk about then, and there's there's plenty of action in the game. But
that'd be nice,
I figure that's not going to happen. But having bet on 4 goals, almost certainly will be 0-0 now. So I'll put the mockers on it, I think. I was talking earlier when we were at Cricket Nets earlier. I was with a guy who might be watching, and he said he was nervous. Chelsea fan, Tom. So he was a little bit nervous.
Tom Redden. All right, yeah.
So he was a little bit nervous.
Hi, Tom, if you're watching.
Yeah. But what he will be happy about is Kante playing, because I think he's at least as big a fan of him as me. And but I actually think it looks a bit more of a balanced side, because I think Kovacic and Jorginho aren't the best defensive players in the universe. I don't think Jorginho, even when he was playing sort of Sarri ball as a kind of pivot player, they had the ball so much. He was really there for his use of the ball, his distribution, which is, incredible. But as I think I might have said last week, when you watch him having a track back, he kind of looks like me trying to do cross country. His head's down, he's puffing away. So we've got someone, a special player in there, back in the team.
Yeah, absolutely. So I think a bit of defensive covers needed, because Porto, you would fancy, would be all out attack. Maybe not all out attack gung ho, but obviously they'd be have a more positive and attacking mindset. Not that they didn't last week, but raise it up a couple of notches.
Yeah, I think we made the best chances, but if you took the errors out of it, you could make a case that they created the better chances overall. Yeah, I'm not sure, but you could make that case. I think it wasn't as one-sided as the Atletico games by any stage.
Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah, Porto were way better than Atletico Madrid over 2 legs. So
and that really stunned me, because I think, again, if you sort of made the players wear balaclavas and switch the kit, you would think that Porto were Atletico last week. The way they played, they were very good, very well organised. They really, whether it was a question of nerve, concentration, I don't think it would have been a tactical change that Conceição made, but it was only when they got deep that kind of we had the ball for a long period. Then the left back feels he has to go with the ball, makes a rash decision. Mount comes in and just elite finish from him. So it will be interesting again to just see how they approach the game. Whether we'll be more conservative in the face of the fact we've got a 2-goal, technically away goal lead, and whether they will really kind of push the button and go for it. Certainly, they'll probably have to consolidate early on, I think, given how good they were in the last game.
Absolutely. So players are out, just about to kick off. Just waiting for the referee to blow his whistle. And it'd be interesting to see, as you say, mate, will Porto approach it the same, or will they try and get a goal back straight away, or will they sort of hold out to half time and take it on in the second leg? And we'll see what happens. But here we go. First whistle has been blown, and Chelsea with the ball at the back, and then Porto really pressing higher from the front immediately. So I think you can see their intent straight away. Chelsea kicker from right to left in this first half, as I mentioned at the start. This leg and the first leg was being played at Sevilla's stadium because of COVID restrictions between Portugal and England. So this is technically Chelsea's home leg tonight. Nice bit of play from Porto straight away. Well, they're committing bodies forward. They got on the right hand side. Oh, that's well defended. Chilwell gets in there. Back flick from I think it might be Oliveira actually, who's back in the side tonight. Yeah, I think we called it about right, mate, from Porto's start.
Yeah, they look good. I'm a little bit behind you again, but yeah, straight away as soon as they came out, it's showing their intent, and again quite a high line there. So whether that will work in our favour and we'll be able to exploit that, we'll see.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so they're splitting the centre backs. Porto, Pepe, who has many will know from Real Madrid days. I thought, even though Porto conceded 2 goals, I thought he was decent last week. It weren't his mistakes that led to the 2 goals. Oh, Kante's lost it in midfield. Oh, and then the picture goes at the wrong time. Back on now. And led to nothing. And we just come up to a minute and a half.
Yeah, I've just seen Kante robbed a recovery though. That's Kante. But yeah, really pushing up there, trying to stop Bruce James getting ahead of speed on, trying to cut that off the source. I think there's a lot of space behind.
Yeah, Kante lost it, but he won the ball back brilliantly. That's obviously why he's in the side tonight. He's playing alongside Jorginho. It's not like we're playing one ahead of another. They're square against each other, which I think suits both of them down to the ground.
Yeah, and I think that you've got one who can go a little bit more, go and be a bit more mobile and chase, and one who's a bit more of a static player. So I think they balance each other very well, really.
Yeah, I agree. There's Jorginho. That's a raking ball. Is that James out there? Oh, he just miscontrols it. Finds him brilliantly. I think James, he's caught in 2 minds whether to, sort of cross it first time or take a touch. In the end, he scuffs it and it goes out for a goal kick. What minute are you on, Wiz?
I'm 2:31, 2:32.
Oh, you're ahead of me. You're ahead of me now.
Oh, am I?
Yeah, you might need to lead it until I go back ahead of you.
Okay, so Havertz has dropped really deep there, given how high that press is. But the one thing that's notable there, Havertz went back, laid out. We haven't won a free kick apparently there. I think who's that with his hand there? Mount. Well, the ref stopped it now.
It looked like pushing the back there, but no, play on.
Tuchel certainly doesn't like it. Oh, so that was Havertz, yeah.
Pepe with a header, I think. Yeah, I think they both just went up for the ball.
I think so as well. I mean, Pepe is a dirtbag, but I don't think he's got anything to answer for there. I don't think he's done him. Has he led with the elbow a bit? Well, hopefully VAR has a shocker and sends him off. Because that would be comedy just because Pepe's such a scumbag as well. Yeah, 340 here, just hit. Yeah, so they've gone for a throw over the top. But yeah, again, there might be, Pulisic looks he's hanging around the 10 area. And I don't know. If Pulisic gets space, that's what they need to be scared of, really.
And they've just shown the Tuchel's not happy about that. Yeah, same with the elbow. Has anything happened, Wiz? I'm still behind you. So,
No, absolutely nothing. No, nothing at all.
Yeah,
Games roll back on, but they are pressing very, very high.
yeah. I don't know. On the first replay, it looks fine. On that second replay, the different angle, it looks like he does lead not a red, or it might even be a yellow, but I think that certainly should have been a foul. I think.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I don't know. I don't want to be too biased.
No. That's fair enough. You got me, mate, for that. But just coming up to 4 minutes.
Yeah, just a good kind of crossing position and decent ball in from Porto. It's again, we're seeing a lot of what we saw in the first leg. They look very dangerous, getting the ball in the box and then pressing after to kind of put us under pressure. So yeah, they look very, very similar. And really, this is now a battle to can we construct a really good counter attack and open up the space, draw them out enough.
Yeah, I think that's the way for Chelsea to go, because Manafa and particularly Zaidu, they both like to fly forward, which they did on a number of occasions in the first leg.
Yeah, looking at the way they're set up at the moment, I almost wish I put my money on Pulisic first goal scorer rather than Havertz. But fingers crossed, you never know.
Yeah, you never know. So Porto having a lot of early possession, and they seem to. I don't know if you've noticed it, Wiz, but they're playing the ball a little bit earlier. They're taking one less pass than last week, and they're playing the ball in the channels a fair bit.
Yeah, it does look like they're moving it quicker. They look like a really, really well drilled outfit. They know exactly where to go, and you look at how quickly they retain their defensive shape when they lose possession. They're really well coached sides, I think, and it makes me want to watch more of them, try and catch a bit more of them. It's hard to catch, obviously, Lienosh on the TV we've got available here, but I'm going to make a point of trying to catch a few more Lienosh games. I think.
Yeah, no, I agree. Actually, yeah. Yeah.
So Mendy on a goal kick here, and they're really pushing up.
I've still got Porto. I'm 5:47 now.
Oh, you're a bit behind me then.
What are you on over 6 minutes?
6:45 now.
Oh, about a minute ahead of me. Yeah, you might need to lead about what's going on, because I'll be able to.
Havertz with a shot. Oh, deflected just over the bar. And again, that combination. Oh, no, sorry, it's Mount. Havertz overlapped, I think. Yeah, Pulisic. Yeah, that's cross. So yeah, Mount from the from the left hand side. Just tried to stab it. Deflected and over the top.
I'll see that in a minute. Paul, just this ball's out of play, so Mendy's about to take a goal kick. So I'll see that in a minute. A full court press. I mean, they've got five. I can see five attacking players all surrounding Chelsea's third.
Yeah,
he still plays it short, Mendy. Fair play to him.
Yeah, very noticeable on that goal kick. Yeah.
Oh, that's really well. Pulisic. And then Mount. Oh, just over. Brilliant block by who's number 8? Who's number 18? Manafa, I think it was.
Yeah, we're probably sort of, maybe not where we were with the dizzy heights of sort of Hazard, Oscar, and Willian when they were at their pomp and played some fantastic stuff. But I think, this has got something of a similar look to it. I think. I don't know whether we've got a talent that's as outstanding as Eden Hazard, but Pulisic is 21, I think. So who knows?
Exactly. Yeah, nothing happened from that corner. What's been happening, Wiz?
Well, James has just nearly got in down the right. Well, it has, and actually, unusually for him, his quality's letting down a little bit there. But again, that width we spoke about at the beginning of the game with James is kind of telling a little bit. So yeah, we look again. The game is settled a little bit, and we look pretty good. Again, they're dropping slightly now. I think they might drop slightly. Whether they've got the confidence and sort of. Well, I thought I was just been given against James slightly late. I think on the left back. No intent in it at all. Maybe slightly late, holding his ankle. Doesn't seem to be a lot in it.
Oh, yeah, I think that's just coming up for me. James got it.
Oh, well, I don't think that's even a foul, to be honest. Although I see what you think. But he's played the ball just side-footed it, not even kind of followed through particularly. He's caught him after. I'm not even sure that's a foul.
I thought that was coming up. I think it must be coming up in a minute.
Yeah, see what you think. As a neutral.
Yeah. I've just seen it where James crossed in and the goalkeeper caught it, so it must be just coming up now.
Yeah.
Yeah, here's James now. Oh, yeah, it goes down a bit. Yeah, foul on Zaidu. Yeah, the fullback. Yeah, let's have a look at the replay. Seemed a bit soft, but let's have a look at the replay. Steps on his foot. Yeah. So technically it is a foul.
Oh my God. The decisions haven't gone our way so far. Mendy looks like he's literally sort of passed it out to one of our players, except it wasn't. It was a Porto player. It's incredibly bad. He's just literally side-footed it straight to him as if he's saying, go and have a go. Really, really poor. But the decisions haven't really gone our way so far. It slightly worries me because I think there's a foul. You might see it in a second. Pulisic in the middle of the park. And
I've just seen that. Yeah, I've just seen that. Yeah.
I'm not sure about that at all.
Yeah, it gives the foul the other way instead.
We don't want the same rep we had in the 2011 semi-final against Barca. Absolutely the biggest, most corrupt game in history. But yeah, again, it's gone they're big diagonal balls.
I've just seen that ball by Mendy. He gets very lucky there.
Yeah, extremely lucky.
He's been good Mendy since the right, but he's still made a couple of errors, and that's he massively got away with that. Really good passes it back. Oh Jesus, yeah. I think he pressed X instead of square on the PlayStation with that one. My God,
he might have. Yeah. I mean, yeah. I almost don't want to say anything bad about him because I saw Kepa play, who is like half man, half dusting. We'd have been better off with a traffic cone in goal. So he's still and he probably cost us the game against Everton, Mendy with a giving away penalty. But he's generally been very good, and almost anyone was an improvement on Kepa.
Yeah, definitely. I'm just on I've caught up a little bit. I'm on 11:20 now. Porto in possession. What minute are you on, Wiz?
12:15. Just literally passed.
About 40 odd seconds in front.
Yeah, they're showing a replay of Mendy apparently forgetting what team he plays for. And he does actually sort of lose balance, I think, a bit. One of the Porto players has got a tattoo of lipstick on his neck, which I don't know whether to applaud.
Oh, is that what it was? I was wondering what it was. Might have been a bet or something, I don't know.
Well, good bet. Yeah, that is a foul, definitely. Might be a book in that. Oh, no, he's got away with it.
I found on who was?
On Otavio, it was, I think, in the middle of the park. It looked like it might have been Jorginho. Yeah, it was Jorginho. A very Jorginho foul. It kind of, I don't want to chase you back foul.
Oh, like Fernandinho at Man City.
Yeah. He's the absolute master. He will be an incredibly difficult player to replace with an amazing player.
No, I totally agree. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I've just seen. Yeah. Who's it? I think it's Corona, number 17. Yeah, I've just seen the lipstick tattoo. Yeah, that's an interesting one to put it kindly.
Yeah. Pretty racy. Doesn't that one look as good when he's 70 years old? That's for sure.
Yeah, I think all his teammates will give him a kiss if he scores a couple of goals tonight.
Yeah, fair play to him.
Yeah, I think just seeing that foul from Jorginho and Otavio. Yeah. Here we go. Oh my God! I think that tackle. I think he tackled him from the stand. I think that's how far away he was from it.
Yeah, I was actually surprised he didn't get a booking, but that hopefully ref lets the game run a little bit like that all the way through.
Exactly.
But Porto have got a set piece out on the right hand side now. Bit of the kind of thing. Well, they've dropped it about 10 yards outside the box. Completely. I thought he was completely shanked that or something. Awful.
I just said that. God, Havertz must have hit Pepe with hit him with a shoulder barge. Yeah.
Yeah. This. I mean.
Oh God.
You'll see now again what we talked about a little bit earlier. Pulisic is dropping in for that counter to start that counter off. Very, very like Hazard in for us. Like if you remember, there was a game where Manu was under Mourinho, and Manu was just ordered to kick Havertz to death, and Herrera got sent off, and they kept. That was basically the tactic against Chelsea, was kick Havertz. Pretty good tactic if the referee can get away with it.
That was man-on-man marking in the extreme.
Yeah, it was completely insane. Completely insane. And that's what they're going to be doing with Pulisic. They'll be stopping the counter. Whether the ref will do anything about that, we'll see.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, I have to say, Porto have been this opening. Well, it's coming up 14.5 minutes for me, but I think they've controlled things. I've got to say, but same as sort of last week, they haven't created a huge amount. It was only that mistake by Mendy and that deflected shot, and that was it really so far.
Yeah, I think overall we had more possession, but they look really dangerous. What's encouraging about the first quarter of an hour is they look like they've had a bit more possession, but there's not been the same kind of penetration like we've learned, which is what we should be doing. Again, a bit more mobility in the midfield has probably helped. We seem to be giving away a few more fouls, but again, that kind of aggression is, that's.
You don't mind that though, because if you're not chasing the game, you're slowing the game down by getting those fouls in, slowing down the game and the momentum. Obviously, Porto want to build. So you don't mind that.
I just trust that somewhere in the next, I don't know. My predictions have been really good. I wouldn't be surprised if over the next 10 minutes it will just be the quick counter. There won't be a foul for the 6th day. And then there'll be numeric superiority. That is what Tuchel will be aiming for, I think. And I'm going to make another bold call because they've worked out well for me so far. So,
well, yeah, I was going to say your first leg prediction was slightly off last week.
The goal scoring one, yeah. Well, the score line, yeah. But in terms of Mount being quiet, yeah. So and getting another goal, which happened about 3 minutes after. So. Yeah, hopefully that space comes and we look really, really organised. But he's known for being very precise in his sort of pattern play training and things like this too. What I've read about him. So yeah, I think we should be very content at the moment. No chances, not even a shot, I think, from Porto yet. So
no, but apart from that deflected one that just went wide from when Mendy gave the ball away.
Oh, well, yeah.
Apart from that, no.
Well, apart from ones we assisted, we haven't had one.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But, I think this will suit Chelsea. They're getting into good shape. Restricting the space between their midfield and defence. There hardly any gaps for Porto to go through, and that's why the sort of the away side, the Portuguese side, they're trying to find the flanks by the look of things.
Yeah, and they've had a little bit of success in this passage of play I'm watching now. We'll see this in a second, but they kind of create pressure much more like the last game where they consistently they won another corner or they would keep the ball in our box.
Yeah, I'm just I think I'm still a bit behind you. So Corona's about to take a throw in on this right hand side. Looks like a long throw by the look of things. Yeah, throw comes in. Yeah, well defended again.
Ooh. Yeah, Chelsea have just had a bit of a counter-attack. Kante acting as a sort of auxiliary left winger, found well by Havertz, and then cutting the ball back across to Mount laying it off to Reece James in a kind of hot shot across the box, wide of the far post.
Oh, I'll see that in a minute. I've still got Porto taking a corner. Otavio about to take it in. I think they're set. That's a good delivery. Oh, it's well, we're going to see that chance now. Kante's got it to Havertz, I think it is. Yeah, Havertz. Kante's all the way. Yeah, left wing. You weren't lying, Wiz. Christ.
Yeah.
He's all the way up there. Obviously, doesn't lead to anything, but Pulisic. James. Oh, yeah. Right idea, but just, shot wide.
Yeah.
Well, just like that, Chelsea create a chance out of nothing.
Yeah, it's hopefully again it's that rehearsal again, and whether we can exploit the spaces they leave when they're pushing up. And the more the game goes on, the more that they might get edgy and feel that need to kind of overcommit.
Yeah, and Chelsea got good options from the bench. They got pace as well. Werner, Hudson-Odoi, Ziyech. So, obviously, if they want someone to hold the ball up as a target, when they've got Giroud as well. So they've got options. Chelsea, if it comes to it in the second half.
Yeah, definitely. And I think the amount of pressure they're exerting, and how much energy they're exerting here in this press and the intensity. You'll see a passage of play where they close down Rudiger and they hunt in packs. That is something that dropped off for the first goal. They dropped off in terms of intensity. They dropped off in their defensive line. So again, that might be where our space comes from.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I think just like last week, I think when Porto actually did put the ball in the box, their set piece deliveries were pretty good. Just Chelsea defended them very well. Whereas when they played the Shield, do you remember they just completely fluffed it, didn't they? So, but when they did put the ball in the box, something happened, and Otavio being the main sort of corner and set piece taker. So, I think that could be an avenue for them to exploit tonight. But Chelsea's defending since Tuchel took over has been excellent. Set pieces as well. They've defended a lot better. And the Frank Lampard, that was an Achilles heel for him, wasn't it?
It was a major weakness. Yeah, it was one of the major weaknesses. We took a long time to even address it, really, I think. I think that from the very beginning of Lampard's reign, that was one of the major problems. Something we got better at under him, actually, a little bit. But, yeah, something now, sort of it's not concentrated on at all.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I think Jorginho probably has just fouled someone out there as well. You'll see a free kick. Again, you'll see a replay of Pulisic, a bit of trickery. I think he's the spark.
Yeah, I'll just say it shortly. Pulisic. Oh, what bit of skill.
Yeah.
I lose to the ball though. But yeah, it seems to be. I wouldn't say he's quite fully fit, Pulisic. You'll be able to say for certain words, but seems to be showing good signs of play and building his way back to full fitness.
Yeah, there's an argument that if we played our best front three, he would be in it. Yeah, and that, given what we've spent, is a testament. And I'll be really honest. When the signing was announced, I thought we've got the wrong young winger from out of Dortmund because he'd fallen out of favour. His confidence was down, I think, and obviously the right one I thought was Sancho. It would be nice to get both. That would have sorted those positions for the next 10 years for us, pretty much. But as soon as he came in under Lampard, I think Lampard was probably the last person in the country to be persuaded by him, because I think he was absolutely sensational. And whether it's because he looks a bit lightweight, I think whether there's elements of that, or maybe they think he's a bit of a luxury player. I don't know, but he's, there's some people who would say Hudson-Odoi, Pulisic, and whoever you want up front, Tammy maybe, are the best three. Of course, those all having been there last season, and having sort of two of them come through the youth academy. But yeah, we've been looking for a replacement for Hazard. Those are incredibly big boots to fill. But he's very young and he's showing signs of it.
Yeah, definitely. My feed's gone down, so I'm a bit. What's happening, boys?
Well, again, we're on the counter. Havertz dropping and an attempt to ball over the top, but we've not quite executed it properly. So back to the Porto goalkeeper. But yeah, much of the pattern that we're soaking up. We're probably more consciously soaking up pressure this game, where I guess would be the difference. The upside of that being that, again, that domination we found of them physically and of continuously sort of lumping the ball in the box, or, you know, I'm being actually disrespectful saying that, but working the ball in the box and creating, you know, pressure after pressure after pressure, that we've only had sort of one maybe example of, where there's kind of 2 phases of attack that they put on us. Apart from that, 25 minutes in, we look good. Look very, very controlled, I think. Again, if Mendy stops kicking the ball to their players, we should be very confident of keeping them shut out for a while there, I think.
Yeah, I think this approach will suit Chelsea. Obviously, they don't need to score tonight. If obviously they can get a goal on the counter, then job done. Start the car.
Yeah, and I do think it's only a matter of time that the ball has just been a yard ahead of people or a yard behind people, or it's broken the wrong way. I think, yeah, they're playing a dangerous game, but they know they have to. They've got to score 3 goals, so it's not, you know, it's no mystery.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Are you back up and running there?
No.
You know, okay.
No.
I mean, what's on screen at the moment? Pulisic down again. So fouling, stopping the counter attack. They're trying to rough him up. He's dropping in, so they're pushing their midfield up to press. What they want to do is stop that counter, and they're doing it immediately. He's probably been fouled. Ref's missed one. He's probably been fouled 4 times now, 3 or 4 times, I think. And it is exactly like we used to use Hazard. He's our release. Because one, you kick the ball in, it sticks because he's so technically good, and he can run through players. He can run through a press. He's well off there. Kante a through ball again, trying to exploit that space in behind, but Havertz has gone. It looks like incredibly early there to me, but yeah, these are the plays really. Pulisic being that man, the first man we hit on the counter, being always available. Yeah, so it'll be interesting to see if we can pull that off and if we succeed.
Yes, it must be approaching half hour, Wiz.
Yeah, 26:30 here. We've got 4 against 2, and brilliant work from the goalkeeper. Havertz has got it back out on the right hand side. Looked like we suddenly decided to press much higher up, and I don't think they expected it. Havertz from the position he scored in the weekend, and another left-footed shot deflected away for a corner. But yeah, suddenly they looked again lackadaisical. Havertz gets the ball in that sort of inside right position, tries to cross it, deflected away, and then he later recovers and gets a shot going on. But yeah, just showing, I think, where we recovered the ball off them. Yeah. So suddenly, like we were sort of, whether they got kind of lazy or their system didn't work or something, but suddenly it just looked strange. We just suddenly won the ball back and they're 4 against 2. Again, you know, wrong option or the wrong execution from Havertz. The corner comes in, header over the top. Rudiger's got it out on the left-hand side now. And deflected out for a corner. So yeah, we're now sustaining a little bit of pressure on them. The last time this would be very similar then to the last game if we could just kind of put some possession together and exert some dominance. But again, they're getting deeper. Much deeper. We're pushing them back.
Yeah, I think, well, by the sounds of it, I think if Chelsea step up a couple of notches, there's more opportunities for them.
Yeah, so launched upfield by Porto. No, they recovered the ball. Otavio's gone down like a header. Went up for a header with Azpilicueta. Didn't look particularly rough there, but Azpilicueta is a bit of a monster. Oh, it's never a foul. It's never a foul. He's gone straight up looking at the ball, and the guy's backed into his arms. It is absolutely disgraceful.
No, I'm
really
back. My BT Sport hub's now working now, so
good.
Back at 28 minutes 30. I'm on now.
Oh, brilliant! We're very close. I'm 28. I've just done 28:50, so we're very close.
Oh, that's good.
I wonder if you've seen the Azpilicueta replay. It's absolutely disgusting.
I think I might have just missed it.
I will say this: if I was Octavio's dad, he wouldn't be getting any dinner tonight. Him and son would have to get together, see if they could piece to get enough together to like share a bag of chips or something. That is a clear foul, I reckon. Yeah.
I saw the manager complaining about it. I didn't quite see the replay for the incident.
No, it was outrageous. I mean, completely embarrassing. Yeah, ball's gone there. There's nothing in it. Yeah, it's getting a bit bitty where people are trying to really.
Oh, that's another foul. Oh, you're ahead of me, wasn't you? You would have seen this foul net Aspilicueta, this one.
Oh yeah. It's getting a bit muddy in the middle. Again, if it's a horrible, like I don't want to say Stoke because it's too easy a target. If it's a horrible kind of if it's a horrible agricultural muddy the shit out of it in the middle of the park game, that suits us absolutely.
Oh, 100%. Yeah. Porto need the play to keep going. They need to sustain the attacks and create chances. And if there's these fouls in the middle of the park, you can bite your hand off you. It's almost too short. Yeah,
and I think both sides know it, and both sides are trying to break the flow of the other side. The ref so far is playing his part, and he's allowing that to go on. So, I don't think we've seen a card yet. I think. It'll be a matter of time before Pulisic gets somebody booked, I think. A fantastic kind of almost blind pass around the corner into Kante, almost in a 10 position from Jorginho, and an attempted crossfield ball with his left foot, probably beyond the skills of N'Golo Kante. Although he's a fantastic player, in fairness. But yeah, really, you'll see this in a second, but a beautiful round the corner kind of pass from Jorginho. I mean, that's where he earns. I don't know what he earns. That's where he earns 97% of his wages.
I've just seen it to Kante. He's down. Oh, yeah.
I couldn't remember the name of this last week, but in Germany, they're obsessed with metrics around passing and taking players out of the games with passing. I think it might be called packing, like packing metrics. Tuchel would know what I was talking about, that's for sure.
Yeah.
I think he's massive on it. But that, Jorginho, Cesc Fabregas was a fantastic player for us who used to do that sort of thing as well. Just,
Oh, that assist you got when Chelsea won the league. What was it, 14-15? That first day against Burnley, was it? And then that assist for Schürrle is absolutely orgasmic as assists go.
He was an incredible. He's I think a really underrated player. I mean, he went and he was an elite player for Barcelona. I remember him scoring. He sort of played false nine when he first went there, I think it was, and he scored sort of 10 goals in the first 10 or something insane. He was absolutely out of this world. Really underrated player. Fantastic for Arsenal as well. I remember a Champions League game where they sold Vieira, and I think he was at Juve Vieira, and Fabregas just schooled him as about a 16-year-old. That wasn't that young. Maybe he was 18, but he absolutely taught him how to play. It was incredible. Oh, mistake. Yeah, it's a Chilwell mistake with a bit of pressure here.
I think it's just coming up for me.
Big slice from the Corona out on the right wing.
Yeah, ball over the top. Oh, yeah, Chilwell misjudges it. Corona. Oh, yeah, he volleys it over.
Yeah.
Oh, God, was the flag? No flag. Oh,
no, I think he's on. Just watching the replay, it's a brilliant ball actually from the left and a half. Plays that ball.
He's well on side. Chilwell doesn't make a challenge. He thinks it's just coming straight to him, and then Corona. That's no foul. That's just good wing play. Sits up for him, and he takes it the first time. And oh God, he's just see the replay of the goalkeeper. I'd be the same if I was a Porto fan. That's a big chance, that one.
Yeah.
He created much in this opening sort of 33 minutes. And then, he wasn't that far out. It must have been, 12 yards out, slightly to the right? Yeah, he completely slices it.
And I think the comparison I'm about to make is a little bit unfair. But when you watch the first leg, you could argue they made 2 errors and we punished them heavily because of some sensational play. I mean, fantastic finish from Mount.
Yeah.
And a bit of, real quality from Chilwell in the end, and quality play from the team. We've made 2. We've had Mendy kick the ball out, and we've had Chilwell kind of misjudging the play.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, they've got to stay switched on, Chelsea. Yeah, because
Yeah, I'm not saying there was good chances, so it's a bit of an unfair comparison, but it is striking. The main creative actions in the game have been from defensive errors across both legs so far.
yeah, that's the thing. Yeah, it's only a 2-goal lead for Chelsea. I mean, I said it last week that there's been huge comebacks, especially in the last couple of seasons. I mean, going back a few years, like Deportivo, I think they beat AC Milan. They were, I think, 4-0 down. I think might have been from the first leg,
Yeah.
and we've had PSG or Barca beating PSG with a big deficit, and do you know what I mean? So
Yeah,
Porto are a decent side, so there's no way out of this.
Yeah, and I think we were talking about that last week, and I mean, I didn't want to kind of put the mockers on it, but I think what you would say is they do not have the sort of elite attackers that those sides had who did those big comebacks. They don't have a player of the caliber of Neymar, or Salah, or whoever.
How can I forget Liverpool, Barca?
Yeah. So they don't have players of that standard. But I mean that as a compliment because it says something for their kind of organisation, intelligence, the manager. You have to do a lot right, actually. If you haven't got those kind of players to rely on, you need to do a lot more right, a lot more of the time.
Yeah, man, that's probably why they're not going to win they're unlikely to win the Portuguese league this season because they're second to Sporting Lisbon at the moment. And probably the reason why is probably because they've got Sergio Oliveira as a midfielder as their top scorer.
Yeah, and I think, if I remember correctly, I think a lot of his goals are pens. So how much they look fantastic, brilliantly organised, really well set up. They play intelligently. They know their strengths. They play to a clear strategy. But you do, it's so boring to say you need to put it in the net. But you do need that kind of quality in the final third, where things move quickly. Decisions have to be made quickly, and that's why people pay 200 million for Kylian Mbappe or 200 million for Neymar.
Neymar, exactly. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's been quite last few minutes, but from a Chelsea point of view, this is absolutely perfect for them.
Yeah, fine. My prediction, sadly, of us getting a goal through Pulisic on the counter attack has not happened yet. But
still got second half to come, mate.
But it's true. Yeah, actually, it'll be interesting to see how we come out after half time. I wonder if we might drop a couple in there, that half space and make the defenders make a difficult decision, especially Pepe, who still looks like he's got a reasonable pace on him, but he's not going to be, he's not going to be Keith Curl from my day. He's not going to be Ned Manuha.
Exactly. Also shot, well blocked by Christensen, was it?
Yeah,
Christensen on the bench. That must have been I think it was.
Yeah, they're very much now. The passages where they do kind of retain possession, keep that pressure up, are very much like what we saw in the first leg. It's just that they haven't been anywhere near as frequent.
Yeah.
Again, they've not crafted a chance of note really, apart from where we've made mistakes and let them in. Even then, difficult.
Yeah, exactly. Ball in from Kronos, ball block. That's much better defended by Chilwell this time. Wins the throw in. But yeah, coming up to 38 minutes, and I think if he offered Tuchel 0-0 at half time, I think he definitely would have taken it.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I just our ability to move the ball a bit quicker across the pitch, and therefore sort of really catch them and really exploit the space they're leaving with their pressing. We haven't quite got that right yet, and I wonder if Tuchel will have a little look at that and say, actually, on the opposite side, so they've been attacking mostly down the right flank in this game. For Reece James to be a bit more aggressive, a bit more front foot in terms of when we've transitioned. So we'll see.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, just looking at the Portuguese league and Sporting are actually unbeaten this season. 66 points, and Porto, they're 6 points behind on 60 points. But Porto have actually scored more goals than I think anyone. Well, look at things.
That's surprising.
But Well, I mean, that's the thing that's what weirded me out about the previous tie in the round of 16 against Atletico. Atletico have been a lot more expansive than they have been previously under Simeone, and then the games against Chelsea, they sort of revert back to type. It seemed to be.
Yeah, I mean, I think like what surprised us probably, perhaps not being the biggest kind of experts on Liga NOS, is just how much quality they've shown and how well they're set up. But again, it does come back to that question of pure quality. The elite player that everyone knew they had went to Manchester United and can't get a game, and that was Telles. So, you know, yeah, he was the guy who everybody knew his name and everything. So, yeah, but the Portuguese league is a league that's been associated with, well, I think Portuguese football. I mean, Portugal are one of the favourites for the Euros for a reason, because their youth productions looks incredible, really.
Yeah, I mean, they're a hotbed of talent. I mean, if you take the sold 11 or whatever of Sporting, Porto, and Benfica, you'd have an incredible side.
Yeah, and you look, I think Falcao starts out in Portugal. Maybe did Aguero sign in Portugal as well before
Cristiano Ronaldo from Sporting.
Yeah, so I mean, Bruno's just come over, and
it
hasn't just looked like maybe one of the best midfield players in the league, but maybe one of the best in Europe. I don't think that's unfair at all. No, so I mean, he's been incredible for Man United, to be honest. Whether he can maintain that level, I don't know, but he looks sensational. So I think it's, done the reputation of the league, if it was ever in doubt, quite a lot of good. But, I think people would see them as the exception rather than the rule, some of those players, I guess.
Yeah, definitely. And, Chelsea have benefited from a couple of ex-Porto players, obviously Deco and Ricardo Carvalho as well.
Yeah, I think we've got Paulo Ferreira in Porto as well.
Yeah.
And I mean, obviously, our kind of the start of our modern history is with Roman and Jose coming in. Thiago Mendes as well, we brought in.
The midfielder,
yeah, he scored an incredible goal against Manchester United, I remember. So yeah, a big kind of Portuguese connection with Jose, and the players he brought in. Many of them winners of the European Cup. Although Deco came later, actually, under, I don't know, Scolari or someone, maybe he came under that era, I'm not sure. But yeah, I'll always probably be an affection with Chelsea for Portugal and Portuguese players after Jose.
Yeah, no. Absolutely. So we're coming up to 42 minutes, and just more the same for Chelsea, keeping the ball decently and keeping in good shape. And that's all they've got to do, is keep Porto in arm's length, and that's what they've done for the majority of this first half.
Yeah, I think frustrating. I think this shot Tuchel being frustrating. I think just we look slightly off it. I don't know, just not quite coherent really on the attack. And I think he will probably have a quite serious word at half time, because actually I don't want to say they're there for the taking, but the space is there to be exploited.
It certainly will be in the second half.
I mean, Havertz hasn't looked like he's done enough. Even Mason Mount, as I say, he doesn't stay quiet for long in games, really. But even he's looked a little bit out on the margins when he's got involved and linked up with Pulisic. Yeah, we're going to look dangerous in those terms.
Yeah, of all the Chelsea attacking players, and Pulisic looks the one who's been the most threatening from what I've seen so far.
Yeah, he's got that ability. If they're going to play that press, he's really the one who's most press resistant, because he can drop the shoulder. We saw a little flick out on the touchline earlier, 15 minutes ago. That's what he's capable of. He's got that X factor. The only other thing you'd say is, I think we've got Ziyech on the bench, and he can beat you a few different ways. And his best game came in the Champions League. His best game for Chelsea came in the Champions League against Atletico. So, yeah, we've got, again, as you said earlier, we've got options.
Oh, definitely, yeah. Well, I would say to keep the lead if they want to, or if they want to go out and get a first goal tonight, but a third overall. Yeah, I think they've hold up play ensure or the speed of Hudson-Odoi or Werner.
Yeah, it will be mud. I think it will be muddy, and I think it is going to be muddy in that midfield. He just keeps kind of breaking down his scrappy fouls, trying to stop counters. Something's going to give at some point.
I need to have a look with how many fouls, because there was about 3 in that last 10 seconds I could see.
Feels like a lot, and it feels. I mean, I would guess I'll have a look, but I guess that we're up on the foul count by a reasonable distance. Let me have a look.
I'm just looking at the stats. Yeah, Chelsea. It looks like Chelsea with 8 fouls, and then Porto with 7.
Yeah. So just ahead, but yeah, it does feel like we've. Normally when you watch Chelsea, and this has probably been true for quite a long time, they would be the most, the more fouled of the two sides. Again, especially when we had Hazard in the side. I'm just going to have a look and see if I can find out who's being fouled the most. But I imagine it would be Pulisic probably. But
I've just noticed that obviously it's not all about possession, of course. But I mean, Porto, they're just shading with 53%. They had quite a bit more last week, and I think you can just tell in this game they've had less of the ball, and they've done less with it as well.
Yeah, I actually thought we had more of the ball last week, but it probably, maybe that's testament to how we used it a little bit in the critical moments. But yeah, I think it's, what's our DNA? Probably possession, if they're definitely possession. What's Tuchel's DNA as a manager? Yeah, possession. But it won't be possession for possession's sake. And, what German football is a master at. German football has never been tiki-taka. It has always been really quick transitions.
And efficient as well.
Yeah, like incredibly good. There's a reason their managers considered the best. Whether it's Klopp, obviously. Marco Rose, I'm not sure if he's German, but he manages there. And I think he's going to go into Dortmund. Nick is now being linked with a German national job. Julian Nagelsmann, and over here we've got Hasenhüttl as well. So they're ahead of everybody at the moment.
And there we are. It's half time. 0-0. Not the most exciting of first halves, but from a Chelsea point of view, mate, I think you take 0-0 at half time, definitely.
Yeah. Again, if you're a Chelsea fan, you got offered another half of that, you would take it. Maybe not for entertainment value, but for when you've got a place in the Champions League semi-final, I mean, that is not to be sniffed at. That is a special thing to be able to see a semi-final. I can't even remember the last one we were in. I assume it might be 2012. So when we went on to win it, really, really special to win in the semi-final, or to get to the semi-final.
Yeah, I think I was surprised that Porto didn't create more. Obviously, they might do in the second half, but coming flying out of the box, Porto, I expected them to create a few chances, and it's as you mentioned, mate, it's been Chelsea mistakes. So Mendy with a really poor clearance. I think it might have been Corona. I think that went close. And he definitely did it for Porto's second big chance. Chilwell misjudged the flight of the ball and let the ball bounce, and he flashed it wide. Should have done better. The flag wasn't raised. Flag was down, so it would have stood if it was a goal. So apart from that, I think there's been a scrappy game. Load of fouls. No shots on target at all by either side. Which suits Chelsea down to the ground. But Porto, I think they need to. They haven't played as well as they did, certainly from the first half of last week. So they need to step up and get some balls in the box and create something happen. Because at the moment, this game is drifting away from them.
Yeah, definitely, and I think that's partly credit to Chelsea and Tuchel. And I think it's really a lot of credit to. I mean, I spoke about Kante at the beginning of the game, and I think Chelsea fans are always thrilled to sort of see him in the lineup, just because everybody adores him. Incredible guy, plays without ego, amazing servant. But actually, I think Jorginho's been incredible. I think he's been really sensational. He's been in the right place at the right time. He's committed, his kind of fouls when he's needed to commit his kind of fouls. He seems to have got around the pitch. I don't know. He seems to be more mobile even. So he's really, really impressed me. He seems to have just always been there. but yeah, and what you mentioned about those individual errors. I think this is not wanting to bang on about Lampard all the time, but I think this is maybe ultimately what cost Lampard is those individual errors at the back. So again, you could have all the organisation in the world, but it does open you to the question: Rudiger was dropped for a reason. It wasn't because you didn't like him. It was because he made some really terrible mistakes. And we need to cut those errors out. Do I think, therefore, we could go further than the semi-finals? I don't think anyone would bet on us. I mean, you've got a chance. You've always got a puncher's chance. But those errors do make you kind of have, flashbacks of not even, a long time ago, earlier in the season. So fingers crossed there's no more of that.
Yeah. So now, would you, from a Chelsea point of view, would you change? Well, it's not necessarily with substitutions, but maybe a sort of mentality. Would you change anything in the second half, or just keep going as it is and then pick Porto off later in the second half?
I think execution needs to change and improve rather than necessarily any kind of grand tactical switch. Pulisic dropping into those spaces, the intelligence of Mounts and Havertz in their movement, those will be the key. And the other key will be, it looks like, by the way that they've organised their press, that Reece James, when he gets in those positions, he has to deliver. And it's, there's a reason why people go, oh, he should definitely be in the England squad. And not everybody is so sure about Trent Alexander-Arnold. It's because he's had a sensational season. He's a fantastic deliverer of the ball. He can play wing back and right back to a very high level, as he's demonstrated. Incredible athlete. And he needs to show some of those things here, because a lot of the time he's the outlet. There's every chance that's where our danger will come from and our greatest goal threat will come from.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but I wonder if Porto make any subs at half time. I think they need to change a few and get the ball more in the box. Even take some efforts from outside the area. Give Mendy something to do. He wasn't really tested in the first leg, and he hasn't been from in the first half. He wasn't. So as I said, no shots on target. So also they need to start. They need to just get some more shots on goal and give them something to think about.
And again, that block in the centre, those kind of two, Kante and Jorginho in the centre, I think have facilitated that a little bit. I think we might see them go more direct. They're really good on second balls. They're really good at being physical. But I think they will be really disappointed in the sense that they've created less in the first leg, despite the onus being on them to score 3 goals.
Yeah, I think. But I wonder if Porto make any subs. They've got a few options on the bench. Just getting their squad list up. So,
I think people. Well, we don't know his exact condition, but I think Taremi will come on. Whether he'll come on at half time, that would be very racy. If he feels it hasn't gone that way, he might give it a little while. I don't really know the manager that well as a manager, but I think we're bound to see him make an appearance, Taremi.
Yeah. So. Just having a look. So they've got Taremi, and they've got Luis Diaz who played in the first leg. So they've got a couple of options. So it'd be interesting to see what they do at half time, if anything, or if just the mentality kind of thing, just get more passes off a bit quicker, and there was hardly any times when Chelsea had to run behind. It was all played in front of Chelsea, which suits them down to the ground. There was hardly any balls in the channels or in between the centre backs and the wing backs. There wasn't a huge amount of that. So I think if I was a Porto fan, that'd certainly be what I'd want to start with.
Yeah, they need to. They're a team that shows incredible intensity, but at the moment it hasn't quite happened. I think there's been some bad decision making. I think we need credit. But I think they need to be more dynamic, and maybe they will need to really push on a bit more. Maybe they won't be able to, have that kind of security they've been having to kind of stop the counter attack. Obviously, we talked about continuously putting pressure on Pulisic. That's in place when they attack. That's in place for the transition. Those tackles and that block on Pulisic. Whether they sacrifice that, it might be try and get numerical superiority. As simple as that. We'll see. Maybe that again is a play for later when you're more desperate, but that might be what we see. And in which case, as we've talked about, Pulisic has looked really threatening, and that might be where our major threat comes from. That space in between the lines that has worked for 3 Champions League ties in a row has really worked in our favour.
Yeah, no, it has. Yeah, and I think it's obviously a cliche in football terms, but the next goal's crucial. If Chelsea get the next goal, it's you'd say it's all over.
Yeah, and I think without sending them out to kind of go completely mental and lose shape or anything like that, I think that's probably what people will be saying. They'll be saying, look, you're getting in good positions because they're so high. When you get it in that half space and they're up on the halfway line, Pepe's up on the halfway line, who is not, as I said, he's not Nedum Anuaha. He's Pepe and he's 38. You need to make your decisions count and be decisive and show that quality. No one wants to play badly. No one wants to make bad decisions. But maybe it takes a little kick and say, look, we have trained this, so we need to execute now. If we execute, we're through to the Champions League semi-final.
Yeah, and I think from a Porto point of view, I think they just need to take more risks. It's been a bit too safe from what I've seen.
I think that's what will come, and I think I'll be interested. It'd be, maybe you could get the measures on it. I'll be interested to see maybe the average position, say, of the fullbacks in this game compared to the last one, because I think they were actually really impressive in the last game. In an attacking sense. But having seen how the wide areas were exploited for both goals, respectively, the right and left side, respectively, whether he's thought actually this is not the way to go. But of course, it will take something away from them in terms of their creative threat. So that's again where we might see the game develop.
Yeah, I think in particular, as I do, Porto's left back, he got up high and wide and was one of their sort of better players in the first leg last week, and he's hardly been in it in this first half. Yeah,
and it was actually fun watching it because it was much more of a battle of wing back versus wing back really last week, and I think he came out looking really, really good. I actually think Porto's defence has been really. I think both defences have been pretty good. Jorginho. I'm just looking up. Jorginho has made 7 tackles, 2 interceptions, so he's been very, very busy. He's been fantastic, and kudos to him. Goes down playing his defensive, but it's been both sides have snuffed out. I don't even know what kind of. I think what does that say? Total shots. There's been 8 total shots in the game.
Yeah, none on target.
and none on target.
Yeah.
So there you go. It's been a bit of a stalemate, and I think as we said at the beginning, you alluded to the fact a dull 0-0 is not what we want, but of course as a Chelsea fan you would take it. And we talked about if the game got muddied in the midfield and kind of very, very hard to keep possession because it's just a condensed load of bodies, giving people the flanks where there's less threat, being more conservative in positioning. Yeah, that isn't going to make it, the spectacle we want it to be, but it does make it an effective, battle for Chelsea on Chelsea's terms, given the Porto have to score 3.
Yeah, no, definitely. I totally agree, mate. Just checking the score from the other quarterfinal tonight, and PSG against Bayern, and Bayern are 1-0 up at half time.
Yeah,
so it's 3-3 on aggregate, but they need to because of PSG's 3 away goals last week. They need to Bayern needs to score again in the second half.
Yeah, that's going to be interesting, and I'll be watching that game after probably. I think maybe tomorrow at lunchtime or something.
Yeah, if you want exciting goals and a thriller, then it's probably the other game you want to watch, PSG and Bayern. But if you're a Chelsea fan, obviously you'd be sticking to this one.
Yeah, the one thing I'm definitely glad about is we're definitely not going to be playing either of those in the next round. So
yeah. I was just checking that. So the winners of Bayern PSG play the winners of City or Dortmund, and then the winners of Real Madrid Liverpool play the winners of this game, Porto Chelsea.
Yeah, and whatever happens, or whoever makes it to the semi-finals, when you get to that stage, the games are usually incredible. I think because there's so much on the line, there's so much drama. I mean, it's the elite. It's the best competition to watch if you want to watch the best football. You watch the Champions League. So yeah, really looking forward to that already. Yeah, whoever. I mean, hopefully City get through just from a British perspective. I think, but yeah. Be great to see who they play. Them against Bayern will be incredible, but them against PSG will be incredible. So it looks like if we get through, we might be playing Real.
Looks that way. Are you a Chelsea fan?
Oh, good man.
I think hopefully the actual semi-finals and the final will be played at where they should be played. Obviously, because this game, the Porto and Chelsea both have been played in Sevilla Stadium in Spain. So hopefully there'll be the COVID restrictions won't be there for the semis and final. But obviously that's an ongoing thing, isn't it? But it'd be nice if they were played where they should be played.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think although as I was just saying, it's always an incredible occasion the further you get on in the competition. The fans, having the fans there and having that atmosphere, I really hope that the final can have limited fans at least. Looks like it might be possible. I don't actually even know who's hosting the final, but fingers crossed that there's prospects for some way to get fans into those stadiums. It'd be incredible if it was available for the semi-final. But yeah, it's it is a game that can't exist without fans. So yeah, fingers crossed we get back to something like normality sooner rather than later.
Yeah, definitely. I'm just going to check as you, because I'm not quite sure where the final is this season. It's the Ataturk Stadium in Istanbul. So that's the same one where that's the same stadium where the famous, possibly the best Champions League final ever, the Liverpool AC Milan in 2005.
Yeah, I remember now because I think someone I spoke to the other day said they were desperate for, I don't know, maybe Chelsea or someone to win it just to kind of wipe the memory of that. Stop Liverpool fans talking about it. But no, that was ridiculous. That was an insane night. I basically gave up watching that night. I remember, 16 years ago, I remember kind of giving up watching it almost and doing something else whilst I had it on, and then sort of becoming more interested as well. Quite quickly, they turned it around actually in the second half. So
that was incredible. Yeah, I think who was it? Gerard, Smeetser, and then Alonso from a missed penalty. But you got the rebound, and that was 3 goals in like 7 or 8 minutes.
Yeah, incredible turnaround. I think it's one of those things, a bit like Chelsea when it's well where you feel.
Yeah.
It was almost meant to be that thing.
It was like it was like what's those films? The goal films.
Yeah,
if it's scripted or whatever, but no, it really happened.
Oh, well, we started on here, and we're going to see the first booking, I think, of the game. Okay.
Sick. I was on the way. I've just kicked off, so I'm a little bit behind just now.
I'm just going to quickly get a drink.
All right, mate. Right, well, the second half's underway. For anyone watching, please subscribe to Garage Football for more content and hit the notification bell and all that good stuff. And like this video if you're enjoying it. Yeah, I think you're right, Wiz. I think it looks like the first booking.
Yeah, very, very deserved.
You just see that's another foul on Pulisic. Oh my days, that is the biggest foul I've ever seen. So it's one of their the top scorer, Sergio Oliveira. Yeah, he's been that's a swipe if I've ever seen one.
And I think again, these are the spaces as a Chelsea fan you're hoping will open up. I mean, if they've got the confidence, they sort of go to a free at the back with one of the fullbacks tucking in. But that's the space we hope opens up a little bit. Our press looks a lot more aggressive as well, actually. Maybe Tuchel's had enough of that. And again, we said in the first half, the one moment where we looked like we were being a bit more Chelsea in terms of pressing, a bit more like the modern DNA of Chelsea anyway, that higher press, more aggression. That was where our best passage of play came from.
Yeah, definitely, mate. Well, I think Chelsea just need to get some more get some passing going. That's what happened before. Obviously, it was a mistake initially for Mount's goal last week, but do you remember Chelsea kept the ball for at least like 2 minutes or something, and then eventually the chance come, and they haven't really done that so far. So I think that's something for I'm sure Tuchel said something similar at half time. Just get the patterns of play and get the ball out wide, get more balls in, and you can get at this Porto side.
I think I actually saw some of the analysis after, and they said it was 85 seconds or something, which in football feels like an enormous amount of time to not have the ball or to have the ball for consistently.
Yeah, that's a long time to not get touched.
Yeah. So again, and I mean, it's striking how much higher up the park we're pressing. Really striking. It's like he wants to be. He's not going to have the game pass and by and just sit, because he obviously feels that's not the best way to go. So we'll see how this plays out.
Yeah, I think Tuchel wants to get that crucial third goal, and obviously, it's not guaranteed. Obviously, Chelsea will win if they get the next goal, but it's obviously highly likely in their favour, and also it might give him a chance to even rest a couple of players towards the end.
Yeah, it'd be great. I mean, I can't remember if Gilmore's on the bench actually, but I'd love to see him get a little run out. Obviously, a big favourite of Chelsea fans. But yeah, absolutely. I think you can have maybe one eye on the big game at the weekend against City. These next 3 games for us, well, including tonight, are gigantic. Might very well be the games that define the season. So yeah, West Ham after that. Fellow Champions League contenders. Which is not a sentence I thought I'd be saying.
Same here, mate.
I'm hoping that both, because I think Liverpool look quite bad a lot of the time, and I think Leicester look quite bad as well at the moment. So yeah, we'll see. But I'm hoping it'll be West Ham and Chelsea, because it'd be incredible.
I can't believe we're in the conversation, mate. Just that absolutely.
Well, I would definitely be going to the London Stadium if I could get a ticket to go and watch West Ham in the Champions League. It'd be absolutely out of this world.
Oh yeah, definitely, 100%, mate. I just can't believe it. I mean, this just sums up what a brilliant job David Moyes and the staff have done. Absolutely incredible.
Just watching across to the back stick, dangerous. Yeah, very much like their strength there. But yeah, I think he's been lumped in with the kind of. I think people woke up to the kind of, journeyman.
Yeah, like Tony Pulis, Mark Hughes. Yeah.
Yeah, I think Steve Bruce is probably in that category.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Alan Pardew, yeah. Just he beat me to it, yeah.
Yeah, who I really like, but I mean, I think a bit of a chancer, to be honest. Actually, and the managers we've got in the Premier League now are sensational. I've never seen as high a quality. I mean, when Brighton are about 5th and bottom, and their manager's Graham Potter, who is a brilliant manager, and Brighton are much, much better than that. But I mean, Moyes was lumped in with that a little bit, and it's just absolutely incredible. Like, people completely forgot or weren't old enough to see the Everton side and what he built there. He was unceremoniously ditched by Man U. Had the courage to go and manage Sociedad, having not speaking Spanish and things. So
I think it's more the Sunderland thing, mate, which I think scarred sort of people's views on Moyes.
Yeah, I don't know. I think.
Do you know what, mate?
You've got to have the right to fail and make certain types of mistakes. I think, because of course, if he had been completely written off, and I mean, quite a back step to bring him back into West Ham, then attributing all the success to him by any stretch, because it's not all down to the manager. But would West Ham be in the position they're in now?
Oh well, I mean,
Don't know.
Well, I mean, obviously he's made a few signings, but it's a similar squad to last season where we struggled, and obviously Pellegrini gets the sack, so the turnaround it's just been crazy.
Yeah, Souček and Rice have played. I mean, they could be team of the season players. They really could.
No, they've been outstanding. Yeah, but that's the thing
incredible.
In terms of corner for Porto. That's well cleared by Chelsea. And in terms of West Ham point of view, in terms of picking our player of the year, like Hammer of the Year, it's got so many options, mate. Last season it was fairly easy, but this season there's not much between a few of them.
Yeah, I love Mikel Antonio. If Mikel Antonio could finish, he would be.
If he could stay fit, mate.
Yeah. Well, Jesse's come in and done not bad. I'd love to see him stay because I think he deserves to be. He's 100%. I think he's just a guy you like in football. He plays the game a certain way and loves the game. And I think maybe he wasn't treated with the biggest amount of compassion by Manchester United. And maybe by their fans as well, if I'm honest. I mean, I've not done any polling, but I think there's a lack of sympathy towards him. So I'm really glad for him.
Yeah, same here, mate. I think Porto just starting to step up a little bit last couple of minutes.
Yeah,
and they're doing what we sort of thought they would do, starting to get more balls in the box and getting more bodies up there, which they've got nothing to lose. They've got to score the next goal. So
yeah, those diagonals, those physical encounters, those second balls. Yeah, that was their bread and butter in the first game. Incredible physicality, getting risky pass out by Mendy, really hospital ball for Kante. Space.
I've just seen a ball coming from Corona. It was held by Mendy, but they didn't do nowhere near enough in the first half, and they've already done it, put in more times in this sort of opening 8 minutes already.
We've just had a good chance. Again, Pulisic in the hole, spreading the play out to the left, and then
I'm just seeing it. I'm just seeing it now. Yeah, Pulisic, he wins in midfield. Oh, it sprays it brilliantly to Mount, I think it is, on the left. Chilwell. Big chance. Yeah, Chilwell with a fantastic ball back towards the penalty spot, as she should do from a wide area.
Yeah.
Just on the volley. And it's a hard bit of skill, to be fair to him. He tries to open his body up. But maybe should he go left-footed with that one? But
if you're being hypercritical, we should get the ball on the ground from Chilwell. I think it's like hitting it from 10 yards at someone's knee.
That's good for him. I think Chilwell's stretching a little bit. Chilwell's stretching to get the ball. So I think he did everything perfectly. Just that's a hard bit of skill, even for someone of Pulisic's quality. But if Pulisic was like his absolute sharpest, I think he gets it on target. I think
maybe he can get his foot over it. I'm not sure. But again, I was expected. Yeah, Chilwell's stretching, fair enough. I was expecting a little bit better from him.
But just like that, mate. Look at the space that opened up on that Chelsea's left-hand side was absolutely ridiculous. So just that little bit of quality, and you can attack this Porto side, especially down the wide areas.
Yeah, this is exactly what we've spoken about, and a little bit of what we've spoken about with the type of sides we've been playing in the Champions League. It's how well it's really their ambition and their ability to create against our ability to counter it, exploit it, having gained the advantages in the games and those sorts of things, having had not to make the game by being decisive in the first instance of the game.
Yeah, no, definitely, mate. Wouldn't disagree with that at all. But I think from a Chelsea point of view, this last 3-4 minutes has been absolutely perfect, keeping the ball, getting it in Porto's third.
Yeah, this is very like the passage of play before Mount's goal in the last game. Very like
it. Yeah.
Where they've been pushed back. I mean, it's for the first time they've had to long ball it and they've kind of lost it. So yeah, turning the screw a little bit here, I think.
Stretching the play, runs from deep, 1 touch, 2 touch. Yeah, I mean, if Chelsea play at their best, Porto a decent side, but they won't be able to live with Chelsea if they play as they can.
No, I don't think so. Probably a more experienced side than Chelsea as well. But yeah, in terms of quality, I think we felt over 2 legs it would probably be decisive. And our space and our Mount and our brilliant block, I think.
I'll see that in a minute. Yeah, they're spraying the ball. They're changing, switching play from left to right, right to left, so much quicker. Chelsea.
Yeah. And again, that was the thing we spoke about in the first half. We thought that Reece James was in acres a lot of the time.
The space opened up again. Yeah, he's Mount. Oh, what a block! Yeah, you mentioned that, didn't you, mate? What a fantastic block!
Brilliant, brilliantly timed.
And it's down Chelsea's left again.
Yeah.
I think who was it that got the block in? I think it was the fullback. I'm trying to see who it was. Manafa, I think it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, Manafa. Yeah, fantastic. Yeah, Mount was in then. The goalkeeper committed himself, so needs to get that block in. He did brilliantly. Corner comes in. Yeah, well well held.
They seem to be going a lot longer now, and I think that's never going to be a tactic. That's never going to be a tactic from the manager. I think the exertion it takes to be as good in the press as they've been, I think, you can't sustain that for 90 minutes. So whether they're having 5 minutes off, or whether they are, you feel your legs go and you start to drop back, I don't know.
I'm sure you didn't notice it as well, mate. But when Chelsea had that little bit of possession, and before that chance we've just seen with Mount, the players Porto midfielders they were getting back, but they were sprinting back. They were jogging. I think they looked absolutely dead on their feet. Or maybe they're conserving energy, as you rightly say. But yeah, they're just. This is the time for Chelsea to strike. You have to say.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think if you had a map of where they've tried to make tackles or tried to block passes and everything else, I think you would see how much that's dropping back now.
Oh yeah, I think if you see, well, we haven't got it in front of us because we're not Opta, but in terms of the average positions, I reckon Porto are at least 2-3 yards deeper than they were in the first half.
If Chelsea do have a job for a kind of data scientist or analyst going, I just want to say I am available. I just want to make that clear.
I think James was offside, was it? He's having a go with Otavio, having a few handbags. Don't want to give the ref an opportunity to send you off.
No, definitely not.
Because I think at the moment obviously Porto can obviously turn it around and start to build possession and stuff, but at the moment it's just if Chelsea make a mistake, that's the only way Porto are going to get in there at this stage.
Does look like it, and I think James, a young man, you're always worried about it. I actually, in some ways, the England game where he was sent off did us a favour, I think, and did him a favour. Ludicrous circumstances, the ref was a cretin, but I think he hopefully learned a lesson there about keeping his head and how to conduct himself.
Oh, was that the? Oh no! What game was it? The England game.
Oh, the England game, not in the last round of England games. It was the ones before that, I think, where he was. I mean, he was redonkulous. He was absolutely incredible.
Yeah, I think he played decently in the games he did play, and in the most recent fixtures as well.
Yeah, I mean, I really like him.
Just quieting down the last couple of minutes. Porto, surprisingly, he's just keeping the ball. It's very slow tempo, unless they're waiting for the last 20 to really go for it. But I think they've they've got too much time to waste, to be honest.
Whether they're having a round off, but if I was the editor and I was doing a highlights package, I'd be looking at the bit where there was 3 players suddenly round Jorginho and 3 players suddenly round Pulisic like that, and they were there. Now they're not getting close, and that that's not tactics. I think that's fatigue. Unless it's genius, and there's something different in the way that the team set out space wise with Tuchel. Very possible, but they don't look at it now in the same way you see them walking around the pitch. It's not the intensity it was.
Yeah, I think Chelsea. Yeah, Chelsea are just getting more touches. Pulisic dropping deep. He's dictating things. Jorginho, we've mentioned, had a really solid game. Kante's all over the shop. Prime Kante. I just think Porto at the moment. Porto haven't really got a lot of answers, and they also need to change that. Do something a little bit different, because at the moment it's a little bit predictable. This is a better play though. Poor cross. Just the final. That just sums up really when they have got into the attacking areas. The final ball sort of let them down really.
Yeah, and you're about to see coming up the most predictable thing again. It's another foul in the hole on Pulisic.
All right, here we go. Mendy takes a goal kick. Oh, here we go. Oh, yeah, that's another foul. Yeah, it must have been found at least 4 or 5 times tonight, Pulisic, maybe even more.
They're in a sort of, I don't want to say a checkmate position, but a sort of check position. So do you push up? Okay, so can the defence now push up? Okay, they can if you're good enough at pressing to stop the ball going over the top from Jorginho or whatever. And so they're in this sort of difficult situation with the fatigue, with a player on a booking in there, I can't remember who it is, with Pulisic getting his confidence up, Mount dropping, Carrots being able to drop and play. They're kind of 3-10s out there in a way. Yeah, they're in a difficult position now.
We said, are they going to change things? Wiz, and they have, mate. So Grujic, one of the midfielders, is off, and one of the forwards is back in the squad. He was missing last week. Taremi, he's up front, so an attacking South. They've got no choice, haven't they?
No, and it's the substitution we discussed with them at half time. They need goals. He's second top goal scorer, probably the top goal scorer in open play. Yeah. He had to come on and he had to make an appearance. You've got to throw the dice now.
Yeah, and I think, I've not seen him play, but I don't know how tall he is, but he's towering over Aspilicueta, so he must be maybe 6'3", 6'4" by the look of things. So, get balls in the box, get runners off and make something happen.
Yeah, what the one weakness of Aspi really is sort of a right of a free centre-back. I remember him getting done quite famously twice in a game by Dele Alli. That good tactics from Pochettino.
Oh yeah.
But he's only 5'11", I think, Aspi. So, yeah.
I think that's similar. I mean, we've been changed our formations West Ham this season, but Aaron Cresswell predominantly has played on the left as a left centre back. I mean, he's been very good, Cresswell, but that's probably a weakness of his as well. He's not the tallest, so if the cross comes in at the back post, can get found wanting at times. We just talked about Aspilicueta, so it puts in a good challenge on there. Taremi, the substitute. So he's in the game already. Takes a throw in. And it looks immediately looks a little bit better from Porto. Just more bodies and more bodies in the box. You've got 2 strikers up there now, so just need to roll the dice, make something happen, because they're not testing Chelsea too much at the moment.
No, I think what impressed us in the first leg was we know.
It's well saved by Mendy.
Yeah, stretching out.
And it was Taremi, the substitute. A good ball over the top, and Corona, I think it is, with the pass back. And there's about 6-7. Oh, gee, the marking from Chelsea there was absolutely all over the shop. For the first time, they've been stretched in this second leg, mate.
Well, I mean, there's been another foul on us on the count now. I'm not going to tell you who it was who was fouled, but
I could say a strong guess.
Yeah, but I think, we've been impressed how they pressed. We've been impressed they can play. They do loads of things brilliantly. They're organised, fantastic. But where they really got their success was in being direct, physically aggressive, second balls and those sorts of things. That's a totally legitimate tactic, and they were very dominant for large parts of the game doing that. We might see, maybe that's what we're going to get. We'll get that sort of onslaught for half an hour now, really putting it in the mixer, if you like, and really, making it a dirty battle, making it physical and difficult that way.
Stoke under Tony Pulis and the Britannia.
Yeah, well, he's I think they came top 10, did they, one year or something? Did they get European football, Stoke? Yeah. So
Yeah. Well, when they got to the cup final against City, it was the season after.
yeah, you always need a pantomime villain as well as a kind of hero. You know, for every Guardiola's Barcelona, you need Jose's Real, kind of pragmatic and like incredibly efficient, like
Someone
genius.
and you got all the skillful players, and then you need a Rory Delap, don't you?
Yeah, yeah, you do need it. You do need a bit of that in a side. We had, you know, Makaleli was a incredibly special player for us,
what's
but
a player?
didn't do a lot going forward. But was, you know, as I think it was, what was it Zidane said about him? He said, you know, when they were bringing in all the Galacticos and they sold Makaleli, he said, you've given the Mercedes a new coat of paint, but you sold the engine. And he was absolutely right. And he went on. He went on to become one of the most important players in my lifetime at Chelsea, without any question. You know,
brilliant signing.
Yeah, if we were in the day of appreciating defensive midfielders in the way we do now, the way we love, I don't know, whoever you like, Wilfred Ndidi, who is incredible, then, you know, he would have had even more reputation, I think. He was an amazing player.
Definitely.
Right. Let's try a quiz. Guess who's just been fouled?
I'm going to take a guess at Pulisic.
Well, you know, we talked about him again in the first half becoming the next Hazard. He's got his kind of being fouled numbers up.
That's perfect. If you can't, which Chelsea haven't threatened a huge amount in this game, but you know, you need someone who's going to carry the ball, show that strength, agility, which obviously Pulisic's got in abundance, and I think he's shown in this game he's slowly getting back to his full fitness, which is a Chelsea fan coming up to these important games in the league, and obviously the Champions League is a good thing.
Yeah, and you know, it's encouraging for the future. I'd like to see Havertz maybe go off with Werner. Although I wouldn't be amazed if he brought Giroud on again as he did before. But yeah, it's a nice squad we've got. Obviously, we've spent really incredible money. But it's like it's a really exciting team full of different types of exciting, dynamic players. Really young. It's a really nice time to be a Chelsea fan, and you know how successful we'll be is we'll see. But yeah,
I'll be back in a minute. I can still hear you.
All right. I'll commentate.
Yeah. I'll be back before you know it.
Okay, that mate.
Yeah, told you.
Oh, right, that's quick. Yeah, they're just passing around the back, but our pressing is much better, and their work rate's dropped off. You can see lazy kick from the keeper, Kante. Who's that? Havertz to Pulisic. Who you want to be the goal scorer? Well, I want it to be Havertz, and it to be 2-2 still, because I'll win 400 quid. But yeah.
Pulisic. Yeah, good block by Pepe there.
Pepe's body language. There's a fantastic dominating header coming up from Rudiger. You might like. Really is leapt like a salmon.
I can't wait. You've built it up now, Wiz. I can't wait to see this now. There we go. Kick from the goalkeeper. Here goes Rudiger. Oh my days! Yeah, you weren't lying, Wiz. Great header. Coming up to 20 minutes to go. Still 0-0. Chelsea 2-0 lead still from on aggregate, and as things stand, mate, comfortably going through to the semi-finals.
Yeah, let's hope it stays that way. A goal makes it nervy. So last attack we had, we slowed things right down. It was a bit more consolidating, just keeping possession, making them move. The game, you can see now the lines are very, very separated. They're going longer. You'll just see they just launched the ball. But yeah, I think they've got a bit ragged. Their shape's gone a little bit. I think we should just get the goal and put them out of their misery.
Yeah, it seems that way. I think they're just, Porto just, I think they're getting a bit ragged and seem to be
Yeah,
running out of ideas, really. Yeah, Mendy does well to get that one out of play.
yeah. The press is nothing like it. They're much more static.
Yeah, I think this is where you need that extra little bit of quality, especially in the forward areas.
Yeah,
You get into the last stages of the Premier Club competition in the world, you'd probably say.
without question.
So yeah, I think this is where the little flicker of and sprinkling of world class quality is what you need, and in the forward areas, Porto haven't really got that.
Yeah, but I think certainly don't want to write them off. Yeah, I can see that. I think they're lining up 3 substitutions. I think what they've lacked is that bit of quality. They've
Yeah,
not lacked much else. I think they've given a really good account of themselves, actually, and
yeah,
a lot of
definitely.
intelligence and savvy. It's not like it's been a naive performance and they've been plucky sort of underdogs or anything.
Yeah,
They've
yeah, yeah.
really played their part in the tie.
Yeah, no, as you say, mate, they do a lot of things very well. They keep their shape well. They're disciplined. I think at times they do pass the ball well, but it's just the chance creation at this level has not been as it is, obviously, compared to Chelsea. And you look at the other sides: PSG, Bayern Munich, Real Madrid, Liverpool. They all create a load of chances. Porto are not that kind of side by the look of things.
No, no, and I think you would have looked at it on paper, and even with their kind of primary attacking threats back, they're not. Again, they're not the caliber. They've got the output, and they're simply not the caliber of the elite
Yeah, exactly.
attacking players we see in this competition. You wouldn't mistake them for Lewandowski, Neymar, Messi,
Yeah,
Mbappe, Salah, these kind of people. So yeah, not to be disrespectful and put any shame on their name at all.
no, 100%. Yeah, it's just that they're still not out of it. That was a brilliant clearance about a minute ago by Thiago Silva. That was absolutely outstanding in the old school John Terry position at the near post. Showed his
Yeah,
experience there to clear that cross. Yes, Porto still plugging away, keeping the ball. Just need to, as just said at half time, just need to test Mendy.
yeah.
This
We'll
time,
see.
as for quite, it's been fouled this time. It's a yellow card for Corona, I think it is.
Mm.
Yeah, Corona number 17. Oh, sorry, it's Jorginho that's been fouled. So it was someone different than Pulisic for once, and that was his last.
Yeah,
That was his last action. Corona's been substituted. Yeah, mate,
yeah. It'd be
free.
interesting. 15 minutes to go. It'd be interesting to see where we go from here. What we might see. I think we saw Emerson maybe come on and double up on the left hand side before, and so what we'll see. I don't know. Not sure. Probably very similar to the last leg. We went a sort of a 6. If it gets late on, and we'll just try and you know see the game out. I think. Few Chelsea players warming up maybe there.
I think they've made a couple more subs. Porto, Luis Diaz, who started the first leg, he's on now. So it looks like they've played
Yeah.
three. Is it three forwards they're playing? And then Morega's gone off.
All right. Yeah.
But according to UEFA, Vanilson is a forward as well. So I think they're looks like going 3 strikers by the sound of things. It's Chelsea with a corner. Yeah, coming up to 15 minutes plus stoppage time. So perfect set of circumstances for Chelsea. 2-0 lead. With 15 minutes to go, you take that. Corner comes in. Oh, it's cleared.
Brilliant one-on-one play coming up from Reece James. Really terrific.
Let's
I think Diaz has just come on. Needs to tackle against him.
Let's have a look. Diaz gets the ball. Takes on James. Oh, that's proper defending. That's like Wan-Bissaka style. That is.
Well, I absolutely love Wan-Bissaka. I wish he was going to the Euros, but he won't be, sadly.
Yeah.
I mean, I think he has been tried as the right centre back in a free, but I would love to see him just in a pre-season friendly, play defensive midfield, just see how he gets on. Well, I don't know. I really like him. I think he's criminally underrated. He's probably been Man U's third best player this year. I think he's been better than Luke Shaw, and I think he's getting so much better going forward. I really love him. He's a personal sort of massive. I'm a massive fanboy of Aaron Wan-Bissaka.
That's what I can say. Yeah. Porto are trying, but fair play to Chelsea. They're keeping it at arm's length. They're the improvement from, especially defensively, from Tuchel to Lampard is a bit of a joke, really. How much it's changed so quickly.
It's big, but I think it's not as big as people think. I think the fixtures went his way a little. I think, and the major development was to go back to a 5 or a three centre backs, which Lampard did at the beginning. And I often wonder if he was inhibited from doing that because of the attacking talent he had to incorporate into the side. Not sure, but I think that is the major development. And there's been, I think, a lot less mistakes.
Yeah, without doubt.
Maybe a lot less mistakes across goals, which again will partly be a product and a factor of having 3 defenders, 3 centre halves there. Be interesting to see if he proceeds with that next year. Really interesting.
No, definitely, yeah. I think it's been a good end to the season for Chelsea. So I think all Chelsea fans will be excited for next season. Obviously, the fans will be back. Fingers crossed as well.
Yeah, it's I think it's a good moment. We've obviously just spent outrageous money. Most of that got from the Hazard transfer, which now looks like the kind of sale of the century, frankly. Yeah, so it's a really good time. We've got a really exciting squad. I hope some of the rumours about selling Werner are just ridiculous paper talk, because he looks like a major talent. And what we need is centre midfield, probably, above anything else. Bit of cover for the 3 who are not getting any younger. Maybe a bit of support at centre half. Although I would take Donnarumma if he fancies moving to London.
Yeah, I think there will be a few clubs looking at him as well.
100%. He's out of contract, I think. So.
No, in that case, even
also.
Yeah. Just starting to get a couple of corners, Porto. The delivery's been decent over these 2 legs, but hasn't led to any goals yet. But Chelsea have defended them well, to be fair. Here comes another one. That's another great header by Rudiger, which Mendy picks up. He's been a colossus at the back. So is Thiago Silva, to be fair to him.
Yeah. Not said Silva's name too much, but I think he's been a lot of right place, right time, which is just, him all over, really, with his experience. He's down, though. He's getting some treatment now, Thiago.
Oh, yeah.
Where this is a bit more of a clever gamesmanship, I'm not sure. But
yeah, or maybe did he get touched? I don't think he went up for the header. It was Rudiger who went up for the header.
Oh, yeah, he landed a bit funny, like a knee, like when you jolt your knee. Sort of landed and his knee straightened a little bit, just a bit of a jolt. I think it had been ligament, he would have been straight down and waving, but it's a bit nasty when you see it as he lands.
There we go, yeah, just showing the corner. Oh, him and Rudiger went up at the same time.
Yeah.
I think, if he just on the land, if he just maybe jarred his knee, was it?
Yeah, it looks like it. Just didn't hyperextend it, but just kind of the jolt where it locks. Bit of a scary one, especially scary probably when you're 36 years old or whatever it is. So yeah,
exactly. Yeah, Chelsea getting a couple subs ready. Zuma is going to come on. You'd think for Silva after he goes down. Then there's Ziyech is going to come on as well.
Yeah, not sure. I don't know. I wonder what he'll do actually. Whether he might take James off and have Zuma as a sort of, because Zuma has played right back in the day. Whether he have him as a very defensive, less of a wing back and more of a kind of orthodox right back, I'm not sure.
Yeah, Thiago Silva's waving his finger at the bench.
Oh, is he?
So he wants to stay on. He looks absolutely fine.
Okay. Oh, good. Yeah, good.
But yeah, less than 10 minutes to go, and then you got stoppage time. So the stats just come up. Porto have had more passes than Chelsea, but their accuracy's been decent. But just in terms of the shots on goal, pretty non-existent. I mean, I'm having a look at the stats now. 7 shots by both sides, none on target for Chelsea, and just the one for Porto. And that's
Well,
that's this game.
I will have to check Pulisic's average fouls because he's just been fouled in by
I've just seen it.
It's quite a good little stat there. So I'll be interested to see if in one game he's somehow become the top guy in the Champions League kind of this year.
That one was a clear foul. Pepe knew exactly what he was doing. That is a clear as day foul, that one.
Yeah.
Sarcastically applauding as well afterwards. Giving his thumbs up to the ref. He knew exactly what he was doing there. Got a yellow for that as well, for his troubles.
Yeah, how on earth we're going to replace? We were having this conversation earlier as well about how we can replace Kante, and whether Camavinga is an option. I don't know. He's not quite the same type of player as of Kante, but I think extremely young, like super promising. And last year he was putting out kind of similar defensive numbers, like insane, silly defensive numbers.
He's done well against Diaz there, the substitute, who's getting up ahead of steam. Just slow the attack down, so absolutely perfect. Ball goes up.
Yeah, I think what you'll see coming up is our sort of little tens all kind of harrying and putting pressure on Mount, and I think Pulisic combining there to put pressure on. That's probably the major thing in a tactical or work sense that I think has happened under Tuchel. Because Tuchel does know how to coach a press, whereas I think Lampard may go on to be the greatest manager in English football history, and I think he's got talent, and we might regret it, but he couldn't coach a press, or that coaching himself couldn't coach a press because we just got run through and run at, and that combined with defenders who aren't the best in the world one-on-one caused us enormous problems. We were still a much better side than people gave us credit for. Lampard was still unlucky, but that was his major weakness as a coach that I could see. People sides just used to be able to run through us just too easy.
Yeah, no, good points, mate. Yeah, I wouldn't disagree with any of that. Yeah, that little passage of play just sums up Porto really this game.
Yeah,
balls in the box, but hasn't led to anything. That just a little bit of quality. If they had like a Pulisic or a Havertz, do you know what I mean? Feeding the forwards, I think they'd be an awesome team. But they're just obviously the small margins as you get closer in these competitions. They're just missing that final sprinkling of top class quality.
Yeah, it's a bit of art, or a bit of just someone who's got that killer mentality. Someone who's inevitably turns up in the right place. That kind of player. Of course, those players tend to be, £50 million nowadays. But
yeah, exactly. Yeah,
I think they've earned a lot of respect. I think with 5 minutes to go, you never know. But I think we've done a good job on them. But I think they deserve an enormous amount of respect. And I think they surprised us. I think we were slightly underwhelmed, not completely, but slightly underwhelmed by Atletico.
Without doubt.
But I think they've been pretty good value.
Yeah, I think they've done everything they possibly can. Just and Chelsea have done what they needed to do. They haven't been at their free flying best, and especially in this second leg. But they've had more gears to find if they needed to.
Yeah.
I think Porto have given everything they can, but it's just they've maxed out what they can with the quality they've got on the pitch.
Yeah. And I think we're going to cap this performance with a late goal there. I think probably have it. So I think Ziyech will assist it.
Yeah, Ziyech just come off for Mount. So just slowly trying to slow the game down a bit more, Chelsea. But to be fair, if Chelsea made more mistakes, then Porto might have creating more. But Chelsea, fair play to them. Their defending has been excellent. You have to say over in the both legs.
Yeah, we've been very good, very well organised. Yeah, we've got some pretty good players, and I think Tuchel does deserve a lot of credit. He's taken, despite the moments they had in the first leg, at least Porto, I don't think many Chelsea fans would be sitting there going, "Oh, one of those nail-biting ones." One of those ones where you go, "Oh my God!"
Yeah.
And it's you just make it through, you scrape it. I think it felt quite comfortable. I think they created more than we probably anticipated and gave more than we anticipated and were more dominant than we anticipated, Porto, but still, most of what's been created has come through Chelsea by quite a distance, and they look comfortable, and they're losing their discipline now by the look of it. And the most fouled man in history in one game. I mean, I wonder if I can find those. I've got to now just take a second to see if I can find those sets. They will be available after the game, definitely. I mean,
I don't think you'd be missing much, mate. So take your time in there, trying to search that out. Yeah, so
I'm going to try and find the amount of times he's been fouled because it is an absolute madness. Under that.
Imagine if in a game you had Pulisic, Hazard, and Jack Grealish. Imagine the ref would be blowing his whistle every 5 seconds because they keep getting fouled because of how skillful they are.
Well, I think Hazard used to top the tables of the Premier League for being fouled the most. Grealish was topping it in Europe, I think, which, bear in mind, Messi plays in Europe, the alien. That is absolutely outrageous. Yeah. Well, I will absolutely find that at some point because that's Yeah, I can't find it at the moment. That's a stat to find at some point.
I'm sure it'll come from the UEFA stats back somewhere.
Definitely.
But now Chelsea keeping it in the corner. Trying to waste a bit of time. Can't really blame him. Got about a minute and a half to go plus the stoppage time. So running the clock down as well they should. So I actually nearly won it from Pepe there. Yeah, just sums up. That's just summed it up from Porto there. When they do get into an attacking area, Chelsea defended well and kept them at arm's length.
Yeah, it's surprising amount of control, actually. I think after what we saw in the first game and, how much they did give us trouble and they did create a reasonable amount, actually.
Yeah.
But it's been those two incidents where, Mendy makes a mistake and Chilwell makes a mistake, kind of misjudges the flight of the ball. They've been their best moments and by a distance. Again, I don't remember them having a shot on target. I'll have a look, but
I think they've had one, but I don't remember it.
So one shot.
Yeah.
But that has to be a testament. You have to give Chelsea quite a lot of credit for that.
100%. Is that Pulisic found again?
I don't believe it.
I mean, it is as well.
That is insane.
That must be what? That must be at least double figures, surely.
I'm gonna see if I can.
We're just approaching the 90 minutes. Border will be going up from the fourth official shortly. Giroud's about to come on for Chelsea. 4 minutes. 4 minutes stoppage time. So it looks highly unlikely now for Porto. But yeah, not a classic by any means, but as a Chelsea fan, you'll take this in a heartbeat, mate.
No, it's what we spoke at the beginning. We said, we want it to be a really entertaining game. We want plenty of excitement, those sorts of things. I was betting on a 2-2. But sure
at least it's a draw, but obviously, albeit the scoreline's wrong.
I suppose, yeah. I mean, I was encouraged by the way of Giroud coming on now. I was encouraged by the way they played in the first leg, but I also thought they would give even more and push even more forward, and that would open us up for our counter attack. But yeah, really, really, I think what everyone will say is that old cliche, professional performance, did what they had to do, you know, very professional, really well organised in the end. And ultimately against the side who had to come out and play really to give themselves a chance. You know, it could have ended up a shootout. It could have really ended up shootout where they pushed and when we broke and then we broke and they put pressure on us. But it's actually ended up with us having complete control. I think probably after that's what Tuchel will say. We just had complete control of the game. Although it looks like we might. Sick. Oh. Well, that was a capped off incredible game. You'll see this in a second, but Pulisic got through, and yeah,
I'll see that in a minute. Yeah, James takes the throw, Giroud heads it off. Ziyech, what a ball outside the foot. Yeah, Pulisic. Yeah, the keeper does well actually. Yeah, goalkeeper does well. But lovely ball. He's barely been in the game since he's come on, but Ziyech with outside of his left foot, and that's a wonderful ball. Would have been a great assist if Pulisic put it away.
And for all that I was talking about that front line and how great they are, how young they are, and how much of it was in place actually last year before we spent all the money, what we really did need was some creativity, because we were massively struggling with sides defended deep, partly probably as a consequence of us, you know, not being tactically astute enough or not making the right decisions, but also we just didn't have that out-and-out creator that every elite's well. Let me tell you, this is worth watching. Porto have scored.
Oh, really?
and it is an absolute worldie. On the first viewing, it looks like an absolute worldie to me.
Oh, let's have a look. Ball comes in. Oh, what a goal! Oh, you weren't lying, mate. That's a scissor kick from.
My word, isn't that the lad who came on the second top scorer?
Yeah, Taremi. Brilliant goal. Oh, too little, too late. I have to say, a minute to go.
Well, I certainly hope so. Otherwise, I am really going to be upset. That is sensational.
Well, it's a brilliant cross by Nanu, another sub, and then it's a sort of scissor kick. Yeah, takes it on his side. The ball's behind him. Oh, that's absolutely brilliant. It's similar to Benteke's, I'd say, when he was at Liverpool against Man United. That's probably the best.
Yeah. Oh no, really fantastic. Sensational effort.
Catch it flush, top corner. That's a brilliant goal. Yeah, I don't think I need to change the banner, but I do now. Chelsea 0, Porto 1.
Well, let's hope there's no more entertainment in this game. There's Rudiger's giving him a little hug, and the guys. Now wait a minute. I wonder if I don't know. I've only seen that replay once of that attempted to buy a foul.
The ref's not having it.
No, I'm quite glad he's not having it.
Oh, he went. Oh, that's not a foul. God, so I'm watching the replay. That is, it goes down before the ball even reaches him.
Yeah.
Won't get time to see the replay of this goal though. Takes a step back, catches it flush. Oh, that is top corner. That is outstanding. So he's made a difference since he's come on, but yeah,
and I think
just kind of coming up to 5 minutes, a minute over. So surely a matter of seconds now for Chelsea to hold on. And that's it. There we are, full time. They lose tonight, 1-0, but Chelsea through 2-1 on aggregate.
Yeah, Conceição doesn't look too happy about something with Tuchel, but I'm not sure if that's just his general look. Well, the job was done. Whether that scoreline is kind of flattering, I don't think it is. I think they deserve to kind of. Well, Conceição is very upset. It looks like, and Asby's trying to calm him down. But yeah, it's a professional performance. It's all the real cliches that you say. We had control of the game. We were well organised. They scored an absolutely ludicrous goal at the end, and I'm sort of, without being patronising towards them, I'm pleased that they've got something on the scoreboard a bit, really, because I think they gave enough in the first leg of the tie to actually kind of to have a more respectable and less comprehensive looking scoreline. So yeah, I've just seen the PSG Bayern result as well. PSG go for on away goals, no further goals in the game.
So yeah. But yeah, well, thoughts overall on this second leg, mate. Porto scored a brilliant goal a minute or so to go, but yeah, they got the job done. Chelsea didn't exert themselves, and in the end, they kept until right at the end, they kept Porto at arm's length, and that was just about enough.
Yeah, it looks like it's quite kicking off actually on the pitch a little bit. I mean, extremely professional. Really, really professional. Really good performance. And I think one thing you said right at the very beginning before it kicked off was if they get a goal early, it might get nervy. Fortunately, they got the goal in like the 93rd minute. And they're, I think they can feel like Porto can feel like they gave a really good account of themselves. Didn't quite have the quality to kind of make any of those mistakes or the decisive moments count. Quite what all the kind of tomfoolery's about here, I don't know. I'll be amazed if Pepe's not involved because he really is a
that doesn't sound like him.
Yeah, but it's all. I mean, Conceição looked when Tuchel kind of shook hands or punched with him at the final whistle. He looked like he had a bit of ag. God knows what about. We have been the better side over the two ties. And again, without being patronising, they deserve to kind of have a scoreline that reflected what they contributed to the game. And I think they contributed a lot, especially in the first leg. Did they have the quality? Everyone thought they wouldn't have. They put Juve out. They've had a good run, and I think they're worthy of respect. Now we look forward to what we assume will be Real Madrid, who are coming into sadly quite good form. It looks like they were. I don't think they were particularly better than Barca in the Clasico the weekend. They were much better than Liverpool, but Liverpool are more than capable of turning it around. I think. I don't think Liverpool can play that badly again. But whoever we get, we're in a Champions League semi-final, and that is, an amazing season. If we can get in the top four as well, and you never know, we might even sneak the FA Cup. That's been an absolutely sensational season. So. A lot of hope still left in the season, but yeah, we can be very satisfied and look forward to the semi-final now.
Yeah, no, definitely. I think to get past Atletico and Porto, the last couple of ties, I think, and Chelsea haven't even had to be at their best to beat both of them. So I think that's a good sign when teams don't play as well as they can do, and defensively. Barely gave any Atletico a sniff, and apart from right at the end tonight, didn't really give Porto that much either. So I think there's more to come from the attacking side of things for Chelsea as well. So as you say, man, they got the job done, did what they needed to do. I think Tuchel probably would have wanted a bit more, especially in the second half. But basically the time was done right until the last minute. So I think if you're going 2-0 ahead. And it's in the second leg, I think, and they score right at the end. Obviously you want to win or even just get a clean sheet, but you'd take that any day, wouldn't you?
Yeah, and I think this is. I mean, again in the pre-match press conference, I think there was a question to Tuchel about winning trophies, etc., and probably something about how long it would take for him to implement his plans or his vision for the team. And he said, "We need to win now." And I think that's absolutely the intention. And, he's got some brilliant results, etc. That front three tonight, reflecting on it, Havertz is maybe just turned 21. Is that right? I think Mason Mount 22, Pulisic 21. I'm not certain. I might look that up. But that is in the Champions League quarterfinals. And they've just got to take that front three is just taking it through to the semi-final. So, Mason Mount's 22.
Pulisic 22 and Havertz 21.
Pulisic 22, yeah. And that is the best thing about this side, and the most exciting thing. Again, we alluded to it whilst we were watching them. There's so many young players in this. Reece James, obviously, one of the highlights as well. Yeah, it's a really exciting time, and so yeah, we do look forward to the kind of the immediate goals of the FA Cup, Champions League, getting top four. But it's just we're really, really, really lucky. We're really, really lucky that we were taken over 17 odd years ago. When we might otherwise have liquidated the club or whatever. But I mean, it's a fantastic time to be a Chelsea fan. We're lucky to be Chelsea fans, really. So yeah, it's great, and it's been a brilliant sort of journey so far in the Champions League. So fingers crossed it continues.
Well, you never know with Tuchel in charge. Obviously, got to the final last season, and no matter who they get, who Chelsea get, Real Madrid or Liverpool, I think it'd be an even contest, no matter who Chelsea play.
Yeah, well, back when we were we just gone through against Atletico, we talked about sort of who we'd like to see Chelsea get in the next round, and I did think Real were there for the taking. I sort of regret that now.
Yeah,
but I mean, I don't know. I would have said on paper Liverpool were going to really smash Real Madrid in the first leg, and Liverpool was as poor as I've seen them under Klopp. I think that's the worst I've probably seen them under Klopp. That can't go on. They've still got too much quality. Whether they can overcome that deficit now is the question. But yeah, we'll see what happens. But whoever we've got, we've got a chance. We've got a puncher's chance, and you never know. Maybe we can get to the final. The year we were the best side in the competition, probably 2008, we hit the woodwork 3 times. Joe Cole was denied an absolutely nailed on penalty. John Terry misses the hit, slips, hits the post to not win the Champions League in 2008. Definitely deserved to win it. For 2012, a much weaker side in many ways, much less dominant side, goes on and wins it with Di Matteo. Kind of miraculous performances against Barcelona with 10 men and Bayern Munich in the final, who were pretty dominant in the game. So you never know. You get to this stage, you've got a chance, absolutely. So yeah, really looking forward to see if we can just keep the dream going a few more games longer.
Absolutely. We'll see how it goes. So thanks for joining again, mate, and we'll see you for the first leg of the semi-final.
Yeah, looking forward to it.
Good stuff. Well, thanks for joining, mate. So thanks for watching, guys. Don't forget to subscribe to Cash Football if you're new. Hit that notification bell. Like this video if you enjoyed it, and follow us on the socials. And we'll see you in the next one. Take care.